When time is up and the sun it dies, until the rivers flood and the ocean dries, hand in hand under the falling sky, I will love
So he left me
you.
home. He said, "Baby, you know what? We are not going to church late today."
Yes.
So he left me. Actually, it was Easter. It was Easter. So in my head, I was like, I've woken up early. I've been preparing food. I've been
Yeah.
doing this, and that.
Yes.
And then he chooses to leave me home.
Yes.
Why wouldn't he wait? Like, But then he said, you know what? I'm getting a border. Let me rush to church. Find me.
My
I felt so
understanding in
bad.
this scenario was, that we can't both miss church. At least one of us should go and pick that word and bring it back home. But there is strength in family praying together.
In unity.
In unity, dwelling in unity. There is a blessing in
Yeah,
that.
true.
So to that, I had to readjust myself and say, no, if we are to make it, I then have to engage myself in what is delaying my spouse.
Yeah.
Because one, truth is, I appreciate my wife for who she is. And I appreciate God for giving me a loving wife. So I had to make sure that I engage in all those activities. Make sure she does her makeup on time, advise her that, baby, you now have to do this, have to do your makeup quick, go to the bathroom first, let me handle the kids, let me bathe the kids, we can have a simple snack.
But you know what, baby, surely over time,
Yes.
this has become beautiful. Like, it has really, we have improved. Because I love the fact that when you wake up, you're like, what are you going to put on? Can I iron for you? Can I do this for you?
Exactly.
That makes me feel like, we are our team, and then we can work things out together so that we can be on time.
And that's true.
But that
As
journey
in-
of timekeeping,
Yes.
and by the way, we not so perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, but we are getting there.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, it's a
Marriage
work
is a work in progress. You've got to work together as a team to ensure that you achieve. You are in a win-win situation. You achieve your expectation. As you are achieving, your wife is also achieving.
Yeah, true.
You've got to be selfless at all times and be mindful of your family
Yeah, true.
goals.
I remember we talked about in our very first episodes when we were sharing about our journey of marriage. We talked about when the children came in, what
Yes.
things changed. My expectation in that time when children came in was like full support of my husband, knowing that, you know what, you're tired. You're tired, let me help you out. You're
Yes.
tired, you cannot handle this. I don't know, I think I've ever shared this on Woman to Woman. Those who are watching, who have never watched Woman to Woman, maybe you can try and look for that show. There is a time when I gave birth, I think, to our third born,
Yes.
and his expectation was, it is now 6 months. I think we were in the COVID time. I think
Yes.
after COVID there, it was like, after 6 months, I expect you to have regained, you're strong enough, you're able to work, you're able to think. And truth is, I don't know what happened, but usually there is that time after giving birth where you feel like
Yes.
you're in a different world.
Yes.
Your life is gone. Like you're on routine,
Yes.
and this routine does not allow you, does not give you space to think,
Yes.
to think right, to think of the things that you're supposed to do. So that time, I could not really like put things together.
Yes.
So he would come home and he's like, we are supposed to make orders. Are there things that you have noted down? Have you calculated the prices and all that? I'm
Yes.
like, babe,
Yes.
I didn't. Like, I was busy. The baby has been crying. And then he would get annoyed.
Yes.
I was like, King Jesus, like, I can't. Like, in this time, I can't.
Yes.
My husband would not understand that time was hectic for me.
Yes.
For him, it was like, now by 6 months,
You should be ready
you
to
should,
work.
and also I think you felt like you've given birth to the first child, second child, my third child, really.
Yes.
You should be now
You have the
experienced.
experience.
You have known how to handle things.
Yes.
Yeah, but until
Balancing
we
work with family. That was my expectation. That by now, having given birth to these children, I never put in mind that surely giving birth also wears down or tolls
yeah.
on her body, and her output also goes down during that time. So it required me still to understand that I needed to give her much more time to recover through that period, and also offer more physical support.
Yeah,
so
and
that-
emotional support. Trust
Yes.
me, you all know. To mothers, you
Yes.
will agree with me. Like, you know, when you give birth, there is that emotional bit of you that is really disorganized. So you want someone to always speak to you, to give you those positive wordings of, like, you know, you're a strong mother. You know, you're beautiful. You're good. You see your body changing, and then you're like, am I the Eve that, you know, I was before? So there is always that bit of tension of wanting to remain the young girl.
Yes.
So you want a supportive person
Yes.
who would,
Be
if
there.
like at least possible, they would
Yes.
encourage you to do maybe your exercises and lots of other things.
Yes.
Yeah. But there's something I've remembered still about expectations. There is a time when we, okay, let me just package it this way. Like, you know, as you journey into your marriage, your expectation is like your husband is going to be loving throughout.
Yes.
You know, I'm not saying that they stop loving us,
Yes.
but then there are times where you feel the love is not enough. It is not enough. Like you feel like, oh, maybe he's considering me that I'm now growing old.
Yes.
Maybe I'm now like there is a word in there is a term in Kampala they use in tochali ku map, tochali ku form.
Kyoweddeko.
Oweddeko. So your expectation is
Seamless.
like he's, you know, he's going to remain loving and supportive. That even if I look like maybe I am not that young girl, he's not going to be looking here and there, like, you know.
Yeah.
So our expectations of them being so loving brings a lot of insecurities, I should say.
Yes.
That sometimes when you see them, when you see probably your husband with a young girl, you're like, oh, maybe they're admiring that young girl, like,
Yes.
you know, those insecurities keep coming in.
When you delay.
Yeah. Why do you have to talk about that?
Yeah, there are times. When
Yes. When he talks, like when he takes long coming back, his phone is off, he's not coming back home. You'll be like, come on, what are you doing? Like, you know.
He has not communicated.
Has not communicated. And then also the time of how we use our gadgets, because my expectation is like, if we are married, there is time where you feel like your husband should not be on phone.
Should give you that quality time.
Yes, should
Yes.
give you that quality time.
Yes. Yeah, I think that is a very important point. Expectation is quality time.
Yeah, true.
You need to understand someone's love language. So
Camera.
I needed to be present, physically present, and my mind focused to my wife. But here I am. There are times when I am communicating with Chinese, because the business we do involves dealing with Chinese suppliers. Now, there is a time difference.
Yeah, true.
By the time it clocks midnight, it's 5 o'clock in China.
Yeah.
So I have to make these communications past midnight, so that by the time I wake up, it will be already midday.
Yeah.
When it is 7, because there's 5 hours difference, it's going to be midday. So I had to take to labor to explain to my wife several times that
Actually, before explaining to me, we had a scenario before we had our trip in the previous episode. We shared a recap on how we had the movements and all that. We did a business trip, but I almost destroyed that trip because of anger and insecurities that were brought about by expectations. It was that night, the night before we traveled. I was thinking, oh, now we should be, he has to be like guiding me on how the journey is going to be, how we are going to travel and all that.
That
But
was on the 22nd of August,
yeah.
2023. You see how close it is to our 11th anniversary.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
please.
So we keep having these challenges and we just, you know, navigate them. So when the night before, he was on phone and it was late. I think about 2
Yeah, it was
2 or 3 a.m.
It was 3 a.m. Yes.
Yes, so I woke up like how you wake up and then you find someone is on phone. I'm like, for God's sake, what could he be doing? Because during that day we had not talked about anything or sharing about like he had someone to talk to.
Yes.
little did I know that this guy was planning a surprise for me.
Yes.
But I got so annoyed. I was like, the time he should be in bed, or we should be discussing or talking about the next trip that we are going to have, this guy is on phone. I got so mad. I was bitter. I left bed. I came seated in the sitting room. He told me, baby, can we go to bed? I'm like, no, I'm not going to sleep. Like,
Yes.
my head, a lot was running through my mind. I'm like, what is he doing in this hour? Because I mean, you would wonder, in that hour of the night, what can a man be doing on phone? You know? And then when he saw me coming, as if he was, you know, a bit holding back his phone,
Yeah.
I was like, what is he doing? You know? So those insecurities keep coming in. But just like I said, little did I know that he was planning a
There's
surprise.
a surprise
for-
package for my wife.
Yeah.
I really give glory to God, because at that time I chose to understand, to be understanding. When you see that, I think that's where it requires us to have that emotional intelligence. You have to have the ability to read your wife, your wife's reaction, and know that there is something that is not going on well.
Yeah.
Then you have to have that self-conviction that probably what I am doing and
It's not
truthfully
right.
is not right.
Yeah.
But I had to stay calm and use the language that will bring her to bed. And yes, I finally won and took her back to bed. Because I knew I would explain, I had justification for my being late, because I wanted our trip to be successful.
But also, baby, you didn't explain in that time. Now imagine what was running through my mind. Like, you know, I slept when I was bitter. And as marrieds, we are encouraged not to sleep angry. Like, I
Yes.
mean, you don't know what might happen the next day. So I slept when I was bitter. When I woke up the next day, I was, you know, like trying to prepare my things, pack some of the things that I had not packed. And then a spirit told me, Eve, pray. Because I think inside of me was filled with a lot of bitterness, because I was like, I did not get explanation. That is when I would encourage marriages, married couples, please let's communicate. So I did not get any explanation as to why he was on phone late.
Yes.
Obviously he would not explain because he was hooking up something. And also it requires us to be very understanding and to be slow, because I feel like if I had attacked him that night, that why are you doing this, why are you doing that, he would have told me, or he would have revealed the secret. So I remained silent, but of course I was annoyed. I slept. Then the next day, when I got that spirit telling me, if pray, I prayed. And then when I prayed to God, I was like, God, I don't know what it was. And then I did not even get an explanation for this. But how I pray that it's not something bad, you know. And after prayer, friends, my joy came back. My joy came back. I started imagining things. Why should I be annoyed of my husband, the person I've been with for quite this long? I mean, if there is anything, probably he will what? He will explain.
Yes.
And I love how it ended. The surprise was beautiful.
Yeah,
We'll share with you a few clips of that surprise, but
Yes.
it was really, really beautiful. I loved the rose flowers.
thank you, thank you. It was really loving to have my wife alongside me on that long journey.
And what, like, yes, but what lessons do we pick in that? There are expectations that will keep coming in. But what is required of us as marrieds is to be slow to anger,
Be
slow
quick
to speak,
listen.
yes, and be quick to listen. Not everything that comes up you attack.
Yes.
You attack, because you will attack something and then you will have to either swallow your words back or,
Yes.
you know, be ashamed for the rest of your life. So let us be slow and then learn how to manage our expectations. But above all, I pray that in the moments, or in moments where we are challenged, we can look back to God. We can go back on our knees and pray and see God take us through such challenges.
Yes.
Otherwise, challenges are bound to happen because we all have expectations, and these will run through all years of our marriages.
Yes.
Because even now that we've made the 11th year
Yes.
in marriage, we still have expectations
Yes.
that some are
Keep
met
changing, yes.
and some are not
met.
met.
Yeah.
But we hold on to each other and then we be
Keep
patient
believing.
until we see
To see the fruits
of the marriage.
of the marriage.
Yeah, it was beautiful sharing with you guys. I hope
Yes.
you learned one or two things. Please share with us in the comment section.
Yes.
If there is anything that challenged you in your
Yes.
journey of marriage, it could
Yes.
be in the first year,
Yes.
second year, or third year, or 10th year. Please share with us and how you navigated such challenges or how you worked out it. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Until next time, bye-bye. We love you.
We are there.
Twatwas.
God bless you.
Bless you.
When time is up and the sun it dies, until the rivers flood and the ocean dries, hand in hand under the falling sky.